Funding slashed. Boom. Trump administration announces huge cutbacks to United Nations by Amy Moreno for truthfeednews.com. Hooray, another promise kept. President Trump's administration has announced cutbacks to the United Nations. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley announced America will no longer fund more than 25% of the UN's peacekeeping missions from the blaze. United States Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley announced on Wednesday that America will no longer fund more than 25% of the organization's peacekeeping operations. Haley told the Security Council peacekeeping is a shared responsibility. All of us have a role to play and all of us must step up. Currently, the U.S. is shouldering roughly 28.5% of the UN's peacekeeping missions. The next largest contributor is China, which pays 10%. The contribution from the U.S. has already been reduced $570 million from last year at the insistence of the Trump administration. When that cut was made in June, Haley announced we're only getting started. Let's hope. In December, Haley's team also negotiated a further $285 million cut from the U.S. coffers to the UN's operating budget. At the time, the ambassador issued a statement saying that the inefficiency and overspending of the United Nations are well known. We will no longer let the generosity of the American people be taken advantage of or remain unchecked. She continued, in addition to these significant cost savings, we reduced the UN's bloated management and support functions, bolstered support for key U.S. priorities throughout the world, and instilled more discipline and accountability throughout the UN system. The Trump administration has not yielded in expressing its frustration with the UN, namely the governing body's resolution to oppose President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital and their handling of finances. On Tuesday, Haley had further scathing remarks for the UN Security Council for their inaction regarding Syria's eastern Ghouta region, where innocent citizens have faced devastating casualties. She blamed the situation on the fact that the Russians and the Iranian troops were working in conjunction with Syrian forces under the country's president, Bashar al-Assad. Haley stated, "This is a travesty. This should be a day of shame for every member of this council, and it should be a lesson about what happens when we focus on fleeting displays of unity instead of what's right," and added, "History will not be kind when it judges the effectiveness of this council in relieving the suffering of the Syrian people." UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Emergency Relief Coordinator Mark Lowcock acknowledged the dire circumstances in Syria in the same meeting, saying the last few months have been some of the worst yet for many civilians inside Syria. We're thrilled to see President Trump keeping yet another campaign promise. Tell us how you feel about the funding to cut the United Nations. Yeah, I feel terrific about that. But she blamed Nikki Haley blamed the situation on the fact that the Russians and Iranian troops were working in conjunction with Syrian forces under the country's president, Bashar al-Assad. This is a travesty. What is she talking about? Is she nuts? Is she nuts? The people want Bashar al-Assad. Russia got rid of ISIS down there. The deep state was funding them. I mean, really? Give us a break. You know, enough is enough with this bull crap, you know? Enough is enough. I mean, haven't we had enough of the lies? I mean, really? You know, it is just amazing how they can spread propaganda all over the place. It is disgusting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.